Upon its opening in May 1988, SeaWorld San Antonio was the first dominant chain park to operate in the Alamo City. It was also the newest property, as SeaWorld already established parks in San Diego, California, and Orlando, Florida. Although I haven't personally gone to the former yet, I did take a trip to SeaWorld Orlando and will be talking about my coaster count there in the future. But for now, I would like to talk about my coaster experiences at SeaWorld San Antonio. Oh yeah, my name is Avery and this is United Coasters. Despite being the newest park in the chain, SeaWorld San Antonio was the first to get a roller coaster. That's because the main pulling factor for guests were the shows and exhibits featuring all types of aquatic life. What spurred SeaWorld Entertainment to begin incorporating roller coasters in this park was the success of a newer park almost 30 minutes away named Fiesta, Texas. Nearly a decade after the opening year, in 1987, Great White was the first roller coaster to be built in SeaWorld history. That means without the creation of Fiesta, Texas establishing a rivalry between them and SeaWorld San Antonio, we would have never seen roller coasters at any SeaWorld park. Great White was created by Swiss manufacturer B&M and was a 7th clone created from the Batman model. As I mentioned in my coaster credit count of Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, the ride Goliath is the exact same ride, but the layout is flipped with the initial drop turning to the left on Great White instead of to the right like on Goliath. You would think that since the ride is a clone, Great White would ride the same as Goliath. But after experiencing 3 of these clones, I can tell you that the ride experiences are vastly different in terms of speed. For Great White, I would say that this is one of the slowest ones out there that I've ridden. The next coaster that opened was Still Ill. This mega coaster was created by the company Morgan, which now goes by Chance Rides. This coaster holds a special place in my heart, as it was the first roller coaster that I've ever been on. I love both the old and new color schemes, and I love the airtime of this ride. With 3,700 feet of track, this gives a long ride with excitement at every hill. Even with the new additions to the park, I still think that Still Ill is arguably the best coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio, and it is an amazing coaster for anyone who is new to them, and is definitely considered a first ride for any new coaster enthusiast. Next is Super Grover's Boxcar Derby, made by German manufacturer Zier. And just like any types of these rides from here on out, I personally have not been on this kiddie coaster, but I'm sure that it can thrill any young enthusiast as they grow into a coaster addict like myself. Fun fact, when looking this up, I found out Zier means dainty in German. Journey to Atlantis is not traditional in any sense of the word, as it is a water coaster made by German manufacturer Mach Rides. This ride pales in comparison to its counterparts at both SeaWorld San Diego and SeaWorld Orlando. With all 3 rides getting unique additions to them that make them stand out from the others, San Antonio's Journey to Atlantis gets minimal theming and turntables. And despite this ride being at my home park, I have yet to ride this version because it always breaks down when I get there. In all honesty, I don't think that I'll be missing much. Either way, I hope that I get to ride this sometime soon. Wavebreaker the Rescue Coaster is a multi-launch coaster made by Intamin. This ride stands as a borderline family coaster, but I do enjoy its theming of aquatic rescue and location over the water. To talk about theming a little bit more, in the queue line for the ride, there are a litany of stories that talk about the rescues that SeaWorld San Antonio has done in the past. There's also some theming inside the ride itself, as the first pre-show has a video talking about the mission that you're assigned to before the ride starts. And once the projector screen rolls up, that's where you get to see the front of the ride as it takes off. The ride only has a lap bar, so you can get almost a full range of motion on the upper body. When I went on this ride, I almost touched the water as the ride takes a bank turn before hitting the second launch. Due to its picturesque location over the water, this ride is plagued with long wait times. Nevertheless, this ride is a fine addition to the park. The 6th and final coaster is Texas Stingray, a modern wooden coaster made by Great Coasters International, or GCI for short. The coaster was made in 2020 and feels like a long-awaited second part to a 1-2 punch combo with Still Ill leading the first part. Texas Stingray is a smooth coaster and has some good drops. The twists and turns give you a sense of speed as it traverses over the course. Because the Rattler was converted into the Iron Rattler at Fiesta, Texas, Texas Stingray stands as the only modern wooden roller coaster in San Antonio. And because this wooden roller coaster is built towards the back of the park, I feel that it's a good way to round out the coaster lineup in general. Although SeaWorld San Antonio only has 6 roller coasters, I feel like they all play a pivotal role and don't really mimic each other. What I mean by this is that every coaster has its purpose here. You have the water one, the wooden one, the airtime packed one, the launch coaster, the kiddie coaster, and the inverted coaster. And because SeaWorld San Antonio is the biggest out of the 3 original parks, I'm looking forward to the new additions they're adding to this park in the future. I'm already keeping an eye out for the rumor of that new Intamin ride coming out in 2023 to this park. But I'll keep you posted, so make sure you subscribe. Lastly, I just want to say thank you for everyone who's watched my latest video. We have already got 1.2 thousand views, and I just have to say that y'all are amazing. With that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to stay united.